I'm going to show you 3 prompts I gave Claude to make me an extra $15,000 in 10 days with less than $1,000 invested up front. These prompts help me gain clarity and conviction so that I can just focus on executing. They're the same prompts I've shared with thousands of creators and beginners. So if you're thinking, I don't know what to sell, the first prompt figures it out for you. And I'll run every prompt live on screen and show you the bonus prompt where Claude cuts your plan in half and keeps only what leads to money. Don't sleep on this because right now everyone is drowning in free business advice, but nobody's taking action. These prompts force you to pick one path and start selling this week because the fastest path to $1 million is making your first $1,000. Once you've got a paying customer, everything changes because you have momentum. I call this the 1K money sprint. It's going to take you from overthinking to your first paying customer as fast as possible. Without further ado, let's dive in. So the first step is to log into Claude. Now, it doesn't really matter whether you use the website, Claude AI, Claude Cowork, Claude Desktop, or Claude Code. What I personally recommend is using the version of Claude that has the most context about your business, your goals, your skill set, because with all of that additional context, Claude is going to give you a much better, more tailored answer. So I'm going to demo this in Claude AI, the website. Let's get started with the first prompt. Here it is. Give me 2 ways I could make my first $1,000 in 30 days. Both ways must require skills I already have, not require an audience, and be sellable within 48 hours. Ask me clarifying questions until you're 95% confident in your recommendations. Now, one variation of this prompt is to replace this. Instead of $1,000, you could say $1 million or whatever your dream income goal is. But in my experience as an entrepreneur and also having a current product with thousands of customers, most people get tripped up in the very beginning. They stay stuck at $0 made. And so I've optimized this prompt chain to focus on getting you momentum, getting you to your first $1,000. Because once you get that, you see the path to 10,000. Once you hit 10,000, you see the path to 100,000. And this is really important. So both of the ways Claude is going to brainstorm is going to require skills you already have and also not require an audience. Now, if you have an audience, that is definitely a huge cheat code and you're going to have many more options in terms of making money. But for the purpose of this prompt, I'm going to assume you don't have an audience and that we're really optimizing for something that will generate income, meaningful revenue in the shortest time frame possible. Now, this last line is particularly important if Claude doesn't know much about you yet. For example, maybe you just transferred from ChatGPT to Claude and you haven't built up that history of interaction. Claude just doesn't know that much about you yet. If you have really deep conversations with Claude, you may not need this line at all. But if you're fairly new to Claude, you don't have a lot of history, memory built up yet, leave this line in there. Okay, so let's run the prompt. And real quick, in terms of choosing which model to use, Opus is the most capable. It's great for technical work as well. And then Sonnet is for everyday tasks. You can also enable extended thinking to spend extra effort on this. Now Claude is asking, what's your professional background or main skill area? So let's say it's writing, marketing, and content. How many hours can you realistically put in over 30 days? So if you have a full-time job, just be honest here that it may be under 10 hours per week or 10 to 20 hours per week. I'll say 10 to 20. This is a really good question, is asking who's already in your network. A lot of times people don't even realize like your first couple of clients will likely come from your warm network. Let's say I have a small active LinkedIn. Which industry do you know best? For me, that's tech. Which of these can you actually do well today without ramping up? Ooh, that's a good question. So I'm not good with ads. I could do LinkedIn posts. I'm just going to stick with LinkedIn posts and personal branding. When I started my journey as a content creator, I only started on LinkedIn. My entire goal was just 1 LinkedIn post a day. So this is actually pretty realistic. Do you have portfolio pieces? I'll say some samples, but no proof of results. And here are the 2 suggestions. So number 1 is LinkedIn ghostwriting for SaaS founders and executives. Why this works? You don't need an audience, right? Cold DMs will work. I already have copywriting skills. A single yes could be $750. Option number 2, Claude brainstormed, is a productized package where I clean up a person's LinkedIn profile and create 5 launch posts. This is actually pretty neat. I've never thought about this as a service. For whatever reason, if you don't like the recommendations here, feel free to push back. For example, if you say, I just really hate LinkedIn, it's full of AI comments, I want to focus on Instagram, that's fine. Give that feedback to Claude so that you guys can finalize these 2 paths and then ultimately decide which path you're going to focus on. Okay, so now let's go to prompt number 2. Prompt number 2 is, who is the single most successful person I should learn from to make this happen? And limit it to one person. This is really important because it's helpful to have models of success in the thing you're trying to do, because you can see what worked for them. If they're also content creators or educators, they often talk about like literally everything that worked for them so that you can try it too. And this is so funny because when I started creating content, I was obsessed with Justin Welsh's content. Like I told you guys, I started on LinkedIn. One LinkedIn post a day was my daily quota, and I absolutely consumed all of Justin Welsh's content. So Claude says, warning, don't fall into the trap of consuming his content for 2 weeks instead of sending DMs. Give yourself a hard cap, maybe 3 to 4 hours total studying him this week, then start reaching out to people. I love that Claude emphasized that. Okay, so now we have 2 paths to pursue. We have a person as our role model who we are just going to look at everything they're doing, consume their content, and try to replicate that for ourselves. And the third step is coming up with a plan that you can actually follow through. So here's the third prompt. Pretend you are that person. Create a 20-day plan that needs less than $1,000 upfront that gets me to my first paying customer as fast as possible. This last line is really important. Customer acquisition must start on day 1. The reason why that's important is oftentimes I've noticed, like if you ask Claude or ChatGPT for any kind of plan, they'll default to like a 9-day action plan with a lot of complicated steps, and things like acquiring customers is way too late in the plan. We want to move this up as soon as possible. We want to move up customer acquisition as soon as possible, because as soon as you get your first customer, everything changes. Like you are excited, you have momentum, you're going to follow through. The reason most people quit is because they never actually get their first customer. Like I said, this money prompt chain is designed to help you get to your first $1,000. Once you get there, you can envision $10,000. Once you get to $10,000, I promise you can envision $100,000. Let's run this and see what we get. I love Claude's response. I'm Justin. Let's cut the fluff. You don't have an audience problem. You have a reps problem. You're not trying freelance writing. You're launching a productized service with 1 offer, 1 buyer, 1 channel. That's it. Boom. So days 1, 2, 3 is actually to build our assets, meaning, for example, if we're going to offer polishing up someone's LinkedIn profile, we should do that for our own profile. So we'll probably want to research like best practices for LinkedIn profiles, apply it to our own profile. And then days 2 and 3, Claude's telling us to build our prospecting list, go to LinkedIn search for SaaS founders and CEOs. This is the exact target it's recommending, again, based on my background. So if your background is health and wellness, right, you'll probably get a different recommendation here. If your background's finance, you'll get a different recommendation. Here's its DM recommendation. And of course, you'll want to like test all different kinds of DMs, but honestly, this is a pretty good one, right? It brings out a pain point, especially if the person hasn't posted. Because so you'll notice a pattern with like SaaS founders or people who understand the importance of building a personal brand, but don't do it consistently. They'll have like maybe 1 post a week, 1 or 2 posts a week. So that's a really good indicator that someone is bought into the value of posting on LinkedIn, but they just haven't committed like the time and resources to get it done. And then days 4 to 10, Claude is recommending a free sample close. Just wrote this for founder and pitching, sharing because the framework works for any technical founder, blah, blah, blah. And this is especially helpful. Like I know many of you won't have like strong case studies to start with. And so Claude is recommending offer to write 1 post in their voice, free, no strings attached. You research the company, find an interesting angle from their actual experience and write the post, send it over and say, hey, if you like it, post it. If you want more, hit me up. This honestly works really well if you don't have a existing personal brand, because people can see your work quality and output and the fact that you care. Like you actually put yourself out there, you're confident enough in your ability to do a little bit of work, show a little bit of value without asking for anything in return. So I get hit up with sales pitches all day long that add literally 0 value. I can tell you right now, the ones I stop and read give me a lot of value. And here's the rest of the 20-day plan, days 11 through 15, days 16 through 20, and the recap of the things to actually spend money on. Honestly, LinkedIn Premium, right? For the search filters and extra in-mail credits, a simple Stripe payment link so people can pay you, right? It's like really not expensive to actually go and do this. And I love that Claude closed out this analysis with like the things that will actually make or break this. The skill isn't the writing. I already have that. The skill is doing the unsexy thing 300 times in a row, which is sending DMs. Here's the bonus 4th prompt, especially if you struggle a lot with procrastination. Ask me 3 yes or no questions to identify what will stop me this week. Then cut the plan in half and keep only what directly leads to money. Let's run this. Purpose of this bonus prompt is if you are the type of person where you lose interest interest really quickly. Procrastination is a big problem, especially if you're busy, you have a full-time job. Let me now answer these questions. When you hit a no or get ghosted, will you still send the DM number 8 within the next hour? Yes or no? Honestly, not sure. A lot of people like really struggle with rejection, even if it's online, even if it's virtual, right? Like there are a lot of people who don't send that 8th DM because they got ghosted on the 7th DM. Can you send a free sample post? Yes, I can. Will I be able to say 500 and then shut up without discounting just when you're offering a payment plan? Not sure. So just do your best to answer. Honestly, the point of this 4th prompt is really to address some of the risks in why you might fail. For example, the biggest reason for failure here is simply not sending the DM. So that's why that was the first question, and I answered it honestly not sure. Now, Claude is reframing what each of these things means. For example, here, question 3, will I say $500 and shut up? Here's why the silence feels unbearable. You think it means they're about to say no, it almost never does. In B2B sales, silence after a price means they're doing math. They're checking their budget, talking to someone else, calculating ROI. This is 100% true. I have said yes to people like after ghosting them for 2 weeks because I was just like thinking about it. I was like thinking about the ROI, getting some different opinions. Silence does not mean you've lost them. And then the way Claude revised this plan is actually recommending I put a sticky note for the number of DMs I'm going to send minimum per day. Here it says sticky note on your monitor with 2 numbers, today's DM sent and the 10-day total. By the way, this absolutely works. Volume is a beautiful thing. It really, really does work. Many times sales and marketing is a numbers game. So I actually highly recommend this approach, especially if you end up choosing a path that involves this kind of cold outreach, like DMing people on Instagram or LinkedIn. It is very much a volume play, and also volume gives you data and feedback faster. So if you DM 200 people and then let's say like 20 people reply, you have 20 data points as to how people perceived your service, perceived your value, the price they wanted to negotiate, etc. If you only send like 20 DMs and 2 people reply, then you have far fewer data points. Hope this was helpful. Hit like, hit subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next tutorial.